Hi everyone, I'm Wafalango and welcome you all in Grammar in Detail. If you are new and not subscribe the channel, so please subscribe the channel, press the bell icon to get some more videos about grammar. Today we will discuss the ditransitive verb quote from active voice into passive voice. Quote is used as a noun, but you can use it as a verb to give reference. We'll be using it. Quote means to give reference. Before starting this, we will just put a glance on the definition of ditransitive verbs or detransitive verbs. Di and d means to, transitive which can be changed into passive voice, and verb which shows an action. So those verbs which need two objects and can be changed in passive voice into four ways, and we can change them in passive voice in how many ways? Four ways, are called the di or detransitive verbs. Ditransitive verbs need one direct object and one indirect object. Direct object means all non-livings and indirect object means all livings. Whatever non-livings we have, those are known as direct object, and whatever the livings we have, those are known as indirect. Why do the ditransitive verbs need two objects? If you put one of the objects, the meaning won't be clear and understandable. So for that you need to put the both objects, then the meaning will be clear and understandable. Suppose if I say E quotes me. Now you cannot quote me, or he quotes a lecture. Now whom does he quote a lecture? So for that, indirect object and direct object both are necessary. So we will be writing it in this way: he quotes me a lecture. Now over there the meaning is clear that he quotes whom? Me. What? A lecture. And mostly we bring indirect object at the beginning and direct object at the end, but when you want to shuffle the places, so keep in your mind your indirect object me will be followed by a preposition. Like I say, he quotes a lecture to me. So this is the way to change them from active voice in active voice in two ways. You can write them both are right. Our main target, how we are going to change it from active voice into passive voice, that we will be discussing. We will discuss it with the modal auxiliary verb would. Would is used for unreal situations. Those actions which we wanted to do, but but we didn't or couldn't. Suppose I say I would help you. Why I didn't help you? Number one, I did not help you. Do you remember? You didn't help me. Why should I help you? This can be the reason. And number second, I did not get the opportunity to teach teach you. Clear? So that is what or I did not get the opportunity to help you. That's why I did not help you. So these are the two reasons. For that we will be using the modal auxiliary verb would. We have got the simple sentences of modal auxiliary verb would. In active voice there are two ways. He would quote me a lecture. He would quote a lecture to me. He would quote me a lecture. He would give the reference of a lecture, me a reference of a lecture, and he would reference a lecture to me. So that is the meaning of quote. Main target, how we are going to change them from active voice into passive voice. Keep in your mind, when you bring subject, your doer of an action, in the place of object, by him you make it, there it will not be called object but it will be called agent. And what is the definition of agent? It tells us who does an action. Now in passive voice, who is the doer of an action? By him. So action is being done by him, there him will be called the agent, not object. And when you bring the indirect object or direct object at the beginning, like me changes into I, and then a lecture as it is, but over here I in first and second sentence, a lecture in third and fourth sentence is called subject, no doubt, but it is not called the doer of an action. It is called the title and topic subject. We title and topic subject definition is a person, place or a thing in a sentence which we are talking about. So over there in first and second sentence we are talking about a person, in third and fourth we are talking about a thing, and when you bring indirect object at the beginning, so by him comes at the beginning, lecture at the end, lecture at the beginning, by him at the end. When you bring lecture, the direct object at the beginning, so by him at the beginning, to me at the end, to me at the beginning, by him at the end. Sentences will be as followed: I would be quoted by him a lecture, I would be quoted a lecture by him, a lecture would be quoted by him to me, a lecture would be quoted to him by, to me by him. So these are the sentences of ditransitive verb would in simple sentences. Next we have got negative sentences. Those sentences in which we deny the statement, reject the statement and refuse the statement are called negative sentences. He would not quote me a lecture, he would not quote a lecture to me. I would not be quoted by him a lecture, I would not be quoted a lecture by him. A lecture would not be quoted by him to me, a lecture would not be quoted to me by him. Next we have got the interrogative sentences. Those sentences in which we ask questions and put queries are called the interrogative sentences. Would he quote me a lecture, would he quote a lecture to me? Would I be quoted by him a lecture, would I be quoted a lecture by him? Would a lecture be quoted by him to me, would a lecture be quoted to me by him? Next we have got the formal sentences. Those sentences in which we ask question, deny the statement and we ask them in a formal way, in a polite way and in a respective way. We use it with our elders, seniors and to whom you are not close with. Would he not quote me a lecture, would he not quote a lecture to me? Would I not be quoted by him a lecture, would I not be quoted a lecture by him? Would a lecture not be quoted by him to me, would a lecture not be quoted to me by him? Last we have got the informal sentences, which is the opposite of formal. Their complete name is interrogative negative informal sentences. Those sentences in which we ask question, deny the statement and we ask them in an informal way, in a with our juniors, with the youngers, and we use it in a friendly atmosphere to whom you are close with. Would not short form is wouldn't. Wouldn't he quote me a lecture, wouldn't he quote a lecture to me? Wouldn't I be quoted by him a lecture, wouldn't I be quoted a lecture by him? And wouldn't a lecture be quoted by him to me, wouldn't a lecture be quoted to me by him? So these are the sentences of ditransitive verb quote from active voice into passive voice in modal auxiliary verb would. Hope you got today's lecture. Wish you best of luck. See you next time with next lecture. Goodbye.